Thank you for being here. This is such a fun day. Amy and I are riding on cloud 9.
Yes.
We don't even know what to do with ourselves.
Honestly, we're riding on cloud 7.
Cloud 7?
Yeah, because we're number 7 on Amazon. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I was like, what are you talking about? Are we both going to
We're
be in
number 7 on
Amazon?
On all of Amazon, so that's weird.
Okay. I need to tell you guys something really important right now. I need you to look at what we are wearing, found by Amy. These are sweatshirts, people. But mine has French fries and Amy's has a cheeseburger. And are these not the best thing you have ever seen in your whole life?
And it's covered in sparkles. It is just covered.
It's like a rhinestone. It is the fanciest sweatshirt I have ever owned by 1,000,000%. But Amy was like, do you need this? And I said, I've literally never needed anything more than I need that sweatshirt.
That was your exact response.
We felt that
you didn't even pull it up. Like that was your exact response.
Yeah. I'm not exaggerating. That's literally what I said.
So fun. Okay, this is a blast.
We're going to tell a little bit of the story of how this page happened, how this book happened. I know some of you know it already, but it's a really fun story to tell, especially today with the book being launched. And if at any point,
yes, just so you know, I'm like feeling a lot of things today.
I am feeling a lot of things too. At any point in the show, I don't know if we call it a show, at any point in the live, if you would like to get a copy of our book signed by both of us, we're not really sure any other time that we'll be able to do that. That's because since we're so far away from each other, especially. So if you would like a signed copy from both of us, this is the time. And you can go to the link or the website on the bottom and do that at premiercollectibles.com/be there. I felt like so smooth when I read that.
You felt
Did I sound
very smooth right now?
Pretty smooth.
Like that was very smooth. Lauren, thank you so much.
Smooth.
Lauren, thank you. That was like I was like, what's she? We're just reading from
we're so happy
from a teleprompter right now.
We're so happy and also deliriously tired that this might just end up in a dance party. We don't know.
Delirious.
We cannot predict what will happen.
Yesterday, so after Good Morning, we had a couple other interviews. So then we fly home, and I was so tired. Like I was like so tired. I walked up to the counter. I set my suitcase up there, and I go, "Good. How are you?" She goes, I'm good. How are you? And I was like, I'm good. And she was like, no, you already told me you were doing good. And I was like, when? She was like, well, I didn't ask you how you were doing. You just walked up here and said you were doing good. And I was like, I don't remember that. I'm sorry. I'm so tired.
This was literally, so I was in the airport and I was like so tired. Because it was 3 a.m. my time that we got up. And then also we were so excited and we didn't really sleep, obviously.
No.
But I was walking around the airport and I was like praying. I'm like, God, I can't do this. I can't wait for my flight and then get on my flight and sit on my flight for 3 hours. Like, I'm too tired. And I literally had this thought. I was like, Jessica, you did labor. You had babies. You had 4 babies, and you can do this too. You can wander around the airport for 45 more minutes, and you can walk with your own feet onto this airplane. I believe in you. You did transition. You can do it. Like, that was where my headspace was at. I was, like, ridiculously tired. I don't know. It's been a long time since I was that tired. Like,
Same.
if I can't close my eyes right now, I can't do it.
My husband said the other day, he's like, I don't think I've ever seen you this tired. And I was like, what? like he was trying to have a conversation with me. He's like, what was it like? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And he's like, you done? And I was like,
I don't have words.
I'm done.
And for Amy Weatherly not having words. I mean, what is that? What is that even? Okay.
Okay. So here's the story.
Here's the story. Take it from the top.
Take it from the top. All right. So Jess, we were in a blogging group together. Jess and I were in a blogging group together. I wrote on my page. Jess wrote on her page. Jess has been doing it longer. So we're in this.
I'm gonna make the signs of what I'm gonna act out what you're saying while you say it.
You are being weird right now.
This is me typing on my blog.
So Jess is typing on her blog, and I am watching from afar, and I'm thinking, wow, I like the way she writes. I like the way she does it. And it was just obvious, it was just obvious that Jess was authentic. And when I started doing this, I didn't know anybody in the blogging world. I didn't have any writing friends. I knew Mary Catherine, but I was desperate to meet some people who also were in this very weird kind of writing world. And I can't even explain it. Like a moth to a flame. Like a moth to a flame. I was like, I really want to.
Oh, wait. There's the moth coming to the flame.
It's flying.
You didn't know you were getting into a great dance tonight.
Lauren. So, like a moth to a flame, I genuinely was like, I have to know this girl. Like, I want to know her. I want to meet her. So I slid into her DMs and I was like, hey, girl, I like the way you write. I like what you write about. I like your style. You're authentic and it shows. And I did that because I'm really tired of the fake on the internet. I'm really tired of the fake.
Amy was new on the internet. Yeah, we don't even have
I was new on the internet, Jess.
This is us just being us. We have
this is us
zero wine. People have.
You were trying to tell them that I was new on the internet.
People have thought that I was drunk before when I had zero amount of alcohol.
People ask me if I'm drunk every time I do a live. They're like, "What's wrong with you? Why is she so happy?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Okay, so what you need to know is that when Amy contacted me, she felt like the new girl on the internet. Like, I'm the new girl on the internet, but I already knew who she was because she was blowing up the internet, and I was loving what she was doing from afar. So I was like,
"That's nice.
Yes, I will be your best friend." Wait, you didn't ask me to be your best friend? Okay.
But no, I did. I was seriously like, okay, well, but let's work together. Do you want to work together? You want to write a piece together? Like, what do you want to do? Yeah. And Jess is very chill. And so she's like, okay, that sounds good. Okay. Well, I took it right. And then it became like well, would you like to talk on the telephone?
Yeah, we took it from Instagram messages to the telephone.
Could I have your phone?
Big deal.
Number? Could we, take the next?
Yeah,
can we go to second base? Can we go to friendship's second base? Can we do that? And so then we started talking on the phone. Our first conversation was over an hour long, and we just like connected like that. And then right away, I love to burp. Not everybody knows that about me or cares. It's a horrible thing. I probably shouldn't say it, but I do. There it is. Whoop. There it is.
There it is.
So then, what happened then, Jess?
So we talked a ton. We were like, Amy felt like a sister I hadn't met yet, to be totally honest. Like, we just clicked. She's very authentic and real. Just, just really down to earth. Anyways, so we just talked a ton. And then we ended up talking about friendship a lot because friendship matters a lot to both of us. Yeah. We both have had seasons of really intense loneliness. And we also both really, really, really value deep friendships. It's really important to us. And also, we were probably talking about it kind of like if you were dating, you were talking about like getting serious. We're like kind of getting serious in our own friendship. So we're probably like, friendship is so cool. Don't you think friendship is cool?
I love it.
We should be friends.
I was going through like some friendship waves as well, where I was I had friends, and then I had kind of lost those people and was feeling heartbroken about it because they were people I didn't think I'd ever lose. Yeah. And never lose them. And I'm still, now we have kind of rekindled, and I'm still good friends with most of them. But that was kind of where I was. So it was one where I craved friendship. I cared about friendship. I just didn't have it. I didn't have it, but I longed for it. I loved it. And I was in it. I remember at the very beginning, I know I was probably so annoying to Jess because I kept asking, Jess, do you think there's something wrong with me? You've never met me. You've never met me in real life. You've never met me in real life, but do you think I'm okay?
And I was like, yes, you are amazing.
So
I love you already. So one day, Amy was like, this is literally how we kind of work together. Honestly, we're kind of similar in this way. Amy calls me up and she says, Jess, I am packing for a trip and I have 5 minutes and I just decided what we need to do. And that is we need to create a page that's all about sisterhood and friendship for women. And we're going to call it Sister, I'm With You and Are You In? And I said, yes, I'm in.
Okay, yes, but I do need people to know that the name Sister, I'm With You, I did not come up with that. Jess had used that did you use that in a post? Oh my gosh. I tell Crystal and Monica we said hi. Did you use it in a post? You sent a sweatshirt to me that says Sister, I'm With You.
I did it in a post and I made some shirts because I just loved that like whole concept. Sister,
Yeah.
I'm With You. Which that is amazing actually that I came up with that name because Amy is the name queen. She named every single one of our chapters. She named our book.
I named all 3 of my kids.
And she named her children. I mean, I named my camera too, so.
My camera just go away?
You are frozen, but I can still hear you.
Okay, that's because my computer is currently freaking out. So that's nice. That's good timing.
That's nice. You can change to your phone if it doesn't.
Okay, I will. I want people to know. This is so on my computer. I started writing the book, and everything that I had written for the book was on my computer, and I was so terrified because I lost a chapter. I wrote an entire chapter that got deleted somehow. I had to rewrite it, and I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken by it. And so
I'm seeing some of these comments, guys.
I was so terrified. I was And a nice smolder look. Nice. I was so terrified to lose another chapter of the book that I would not cancel anything out. Like I wouldn't X anything out. So I have basically ruined my computer because until like some of it's still on, like I got on today and it was like, here's chapter 7. And I was like, okay, I can probably get rid of that now. Like, but it was scary. I was so terrified to lose it that I've ruined my computer. So anyways, okay, I'm going to get on my phone and see if this works.
Okay, I'll keep telling the story. So, where were we? So she said, let's do this page all about sisterhood and friendship. I don't think there's another place like that on the internet. And we just started it. It was that easy, that fast. And you all showed up. You all showed up in a big way. And it just we were so honored by it. And it just also confirmed to us what we already knew, and that we weren't the only ones who valued friendship and weren't the only ones who wanted to be a part of a sisterhood, and that so many of us find adult friendship complicated and hard, and we need to talk about it more. So, and then after that, Amy and I met up actually for the first time, and it was just friendship at first hangout. We were, because that's kind of scary to meet up for the first time, but when you've just been talking on the phone and stuff. But I wish Amy was here for this part. Amy, can you hear me? Amy. So I showed up to the hotel room for the first time. I opened the door and she, first of all, has a gift of a sweatshirt for me because clearly she has the gift of sweatshirts.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
You did. You got it for my Enneagram number. I forget what it says though.
I did. Like
it was
positive.
Really sweet. It was positive something.
Well, clearly you don't even know what it says.
I know.
You haven't been wearing it, Jess. You haven't been wearing it.
I don't know where it is. What? And so she had a gift, and then she said, "You are very tall." And I said, "I am. I I am tall. And we went straight out to get burgers and French fries, and the rest is history. We just had like the best time ever. We lost our car again, not drinking. We lost our car. We were wandering around San Diego together. We had a great time. So that's kind of how all this was born. And then Amy, you should tell them about what you were telling me this morning about when we were talking to publishers and stuff about what we wanted from this book.
Well, what we told publishers, because it all kind of, oh, thanks, man. It's my husband coming in with a ring light.
Ooh,
yeah.
As though you didn't already look so fabulous.
I know. I saw one of my friend's moms at the airport yesterday, and I talked to my friend today, and she's like, "Yeah, my mom told me you looked really tired." I was like,
Hey.
I don't care if it's true. That's rude. Wait, what was
the question? What did you told the publishers about? Like, we're wanting to write this book?
Yes. Okay. What we told the publishers is we were like, I mean, there were a lot of things we told the publisher, but one of our big things is we were like, we don't think that Sister I'm With You is just a Facebook page. We don't think that it's just a Facebook page. We don't think that this is a phase. We don't think that it's a flash in the pan. And we don't even think a book is going to be enough. We think that this is an entire keep burping. We think this is going to be an entire movement. We think this is going to be a movement, and we think that we're about to see friendship everywhere. We're about to start a whole thing. We want everybody to talk about friendship. We want everybody to prioritize friendship. We want everybody to buy this book because we genuinely want an entire nation of women to prioritize friendships, because we know from personal experience that will change their life. We know that if they can change their friendships, they can change their life. We know that.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're like. We think this is an entire movement, and we had nothing
and
to base that off of. But that's what you're seeing right now. Everybody's talking about friendship. Everybody's doing friendship. It is like a whole thing. And I'm not like, oh my gosh, we started friendship. Friendship has been around since the beginning of time. So we did not create this concept of friendship, and we know that. But we really, we kind of pioneered, like, hey, let's make it a whole thing. Let's really talk about all of it. Let's stop making it like this fluffy little, oh my gosh, find your friends because it's so special and friends are the best. And we know finding your people is awesome. We know it's awesome to have friends. Tell us how to do it.
Yeah. And let's get real about it. Let's get real. I mean, when any of us gets real and is like, okay, so I had someone over for dinner and it was very awkward. And I'm pretty sure I'm just a very awkward human who cannot do this. Like, let's get real about it. Because the fact is, when people...
all my life I thought there's something wrong with me that this is happening. There's something wrong with me. I can't figure out what it is. I try really hard to be nice and likable, but something must be completely wrong with me.
Yep. But that's not, like, we're all in this. It's awkward for most people when they first are making new friends and having people over for dinner. Most people are feeling uncomfortable with that. You're not weird. You're not alone. We're all in this together, but we still need deep friendship. So let's get there. Let's go there. And let's be real about it, that it doesn't just magically appear. It's not like Amy, I think, was the first one who said this, but it's not just like a romantic comedy for friendship where your perfect friend just bumps into you at the mall and is like, and you're like, what? Did we just become best friends?
Oh my gosh. We bumped into each other in the mall, and then we accidentally grabbed each other's backpacks. And then, like, I called her and she called me so we could get our backpacks back. But we're best friends, and then we just stayed best friends forever.
Yeah. No, it's harder than that.
It doesn't happen like that.
It's complicated. And so I think the book and then all of us talking about it in a real way is what starts this movement, and I think it's already started, and you guys are a part of that. So
like a big part of it. a big
Yeah,
part of it.
I mean, it is. We wouldn't have this if you guys weren't here.
No, and I say this all the time. I do not believe in being self-made. I don't think anyone is self-made. I am, especially not us, and we're fully aware of that. I don't want to be self-made. I don't want to do it by myself. So I genuinely believe like this is a group effort, and it's always been a group effort because we started with 0 followers, and with 0 followers, we wouldn't have gotten a book deal. I know that.
And without you guys creating such a good space too.
Yeah.
Because authenticity really creates, you need, for authenticity to thrive, you need people to champion it. And you guys champion it. We talk about the real parts of friendship, and you guys are there for it. You're like, yes, we agree. Totally, us too. And if you didn't create that safe space to talk about friendship, there would be nothing also.
Yeah. And y'all let me talk about really vulnerable and real stuff. And because I remember I would share stuff, and I felt so weird putting stuff out on the internet. And then people in real life would be like, hey, just want you to know I read what you wrote, and I just cried the whole way through it because I feel that way too. I mean, I can't share it because I don't want anybody to think I'm crazy or that I'm really having a hard time. But I'm so glad, like, you're so brave for putting that out there. And I remember, like, one part of me was like, thank you, that is beautiful. And part of me was like, so do you think I'm weird for putting it out there? Do you think I'm crazy for putting it out there? Am I not supposed to be doing this? Yeah. Like, am I not supposed to be doing this? And it's funny, you know, being the girl who puts herself out on the internet and, like, basically, like, it's like tells the whole world, here's my diary, and here's my real life, and here's me, and through all of it, just as I am. There's something where now people look at it and they're like, there's no way you don't have friends. There's just no way. Yeah, not everybody wants to be friends with a weird girl. All of her thoughts on the internet. Not everybody wants to be friends with that girl. So this whole journey has had a lot of waves and craziness and weirdness. But that is basically how the book came to be.
Yes, absolutely.
People have to talk to this, and that's what we talk to publishers, and that's what we told them is like, we think this is a whole movement, and we think we did go with a Christian publisher ultimately, because we're both Christians, and so our faith is a huge part of who we are. It's really important to us, but we're like, this book is for everybody.
Yeah,
it's for everybody, and there's certain things that we're in. I'd read every friendship book that I could find throughout my life. I mean, every single one of them. And half of them I would read, and they were great books. I'm not putting them down. They were great books. But I would get done with them, and I would feel lonely, and I would feel like a bad Christian, because it's like, Jesus is all you need. And if he is, you know, if he's not all you need, then you're not doing it right. And I remember being like, crap. So I'm like, I'm lonely. I don't have any friends. And now I don't love Jesus enough. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm failing at everything. So it was important to us to make sure that this book didn't feel that way, that it felt normal.
Normalizing and real. Like, let's talk real. Like, okay, but actually, I remember, I don't know what I was freaking out about at one point, but I remember I was with some friends and I was crying about something, and they're like, it's gonna be okay, like, it'll be okay. And I was like, but how? Tell me how. What do I do? Like, what is my next step? How do I move forward in this? And I definitely felt that way with loneliness before I had friends. Like, what is my next step though? Like, give me a real next step. How do I change this in my life? So we wrote this book to be actually applicable, where you can do real things in your day-to-day life and see it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good mix of stories, and then at the end of every chapter, here's what you go out and do. Here's how you go out and actually build this, and let this book be more than words. Let it be action that really does change things.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Jess yesterday, I was like, I don't know if a book can really change your life if you just read it. I mean, it's not going to. If you just read it and don't do anything and don't believe in it, they're just words. But I was like, but I do pray that this book will change the way women think about friendship. And if we can change the way women think about friendship, then we can change the way that they do friendship. And if we can change the way that they do friendship, they can build better friendships. And if they build better friendships, that will change their lives.
Yeah.
That will change their lives. And that's all we want. That's all we want. We hope it changes some lives. I don't want anybody to feel lonely.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to feel lonely. I don't want anybody to feel left out. It's heartbreaking. And I think when we love people, that's part of my thing. It's when you really love people, you can't want loneliness for them. You can't want heartbreak for them. And so I think part of loving people is you want to do life with them, and you want to build connections with them. And that's just important to me. And I think that I'm grateful every day for every time that I got left out. And I'm grateful every day for every time I got kind of pushed to the outside of the circle. And I'm grateful for every tear that I cried, because, you know, all those times that I didn't have any friends, I didn't have anybody. Now I'm grateful for them, because I get to use those experiences to hopefully help other women.
Yeah.
And kind of turn that negative into turn it into a positive, you know?
Yeah.
I hope that's what it does.
That's so good, Amy.
To somebody else. All right.
Are you ready for our first question?
I'm so ready for questions.
And then again, because I did it so well the first time. Nope. Where's my hand? Okay. If you want a signed book from both of us, it's at premiercollectibles.com/be there. Okay. So first question, how did y'all meet? So I think we answered that one. That was from Anne.
And we answered
we answered that long style. What is your favorite part of the book? That's from Melissa. You go first, and then I'll go.
Okay.
Why don't you do something that you wrote? Like, what is the closest part?
I cannot read chapter. What's the breakup chapter? Is it chapter 10?
Let me look.
I don't know. I think it's chapter 10.
Yeah.
When you've been there, done that, and had your heartbreak?
No.
I
thought you... Sorry. 12. It's 12. It's 12. I couldn't remember which one it was, if it was High School 2.0 or the...
No. Okay, so chapter 12, I cannot read without breaking down and crying. And it's just because it brings back all of those feelings of every friendship breakup I've ever been through. And it destroys me all over again. It destroys me all over again, because that's some painful stuff. It is some painful stuff. So I poured myself into that chapter, because I really felt like this chapter in the book is going to be pivotal. Lauren, I mean, basically, I like some of the stuff I wrote, but my favorite chapter is Jess's. Sometimes I get kind of insecure about it, because I'm like, Jess's chapter is so good. It's better than mine, and I didn't I wasn't good. I didn't do a good enough job at one point.
That is not true. Huh?
Okay, but I am hard on myself. So at one point, a very low point, I literally called Jess, and I was like, Jess, if we do another book, you should write it by yourself. Like, you don't want me bringing you down. I
was like, listen, sister, I'm not doing this by myself.
Did not have it together.
You and your words. Because you're incredible.
Yeah, like friendship breakups destroyed me. Like, I could get over romantic breakups. I knew there would be another guy along the way. Normally in romantic breakups, I could be like, well, he was a jerk. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. He was really horrible.
Totally.
But in friend breakups, but I loved her. She was wonderful. I loved her.
Yeah.
She's not a jerk. And it just hurts.
Yes.
I couldn't blame her. So chapter 12, I really did pour myself into, because I felt like that was like a big moment in the book. But also chapter 8 is probably my favorite, because I feel like there's just some insight there and some tips, like some things in there that genuinely revolutionized the way I thought about friendship.
I would say my favorite thing that I wrote was probably chapter 3. You can't Amazon Prime your friendships, which Amy actually came up with that title, which is killer. P.S. Just because it has my most sacred stories in it, I would say,
It's
and
beautiful.
about one of my closest friends. And I remember I wrote that little part, the story, years ago, actually. And that friend is actually my editor. She just did it for free because didn't want me to look dumb on the internet. She's like, Jess, you forgot your period again. You forgot. What is this? That's
Y-O-U-R means your. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E means you are.
So she's had my back in a big way already, but I wrote that and I went to visit her and she read it. And we just both, I'm like, I don't know if this is a post or if this is meant for a book when I write one day. And she's like, this is meant for the book. And so I had that story before we even signed a book deal because it was so sacred to me. Yeah, so I'm very grateful to her for letting me share that story. And yeah, that chapter makes me very emotional because
chapter 3 is amazing. Like it's amazing. I like the qualities of a good friend too, though. I think that's a pretty.
Oh, that's solid.
A nice little.
That's good.
Insert in there.
That's good. Okay. Next question. What is your favorite thing about being in the public eye?
Nothing.
I know I was gonna say. I think both of us just kind of want to live simple lives, and
I'm so regular and
friends
simple.
and family and just kind of hide from that. But I will say my favorite thing is how many women feel seen and known by what we do. And we get to hear back from that. Like when you guys are like, this made me feel so seen and known and loved, that affects me in a big way.
Oh, it affects me. I'm so grateful. Like somebody, like anytime.
It feels like being a part of a giant community.
Mm-hmm. Like I love, especially people from the launch team who've already read the book. A lot of their tips is they go on and they're like, okay, I immediately got done with the book and started calling my friends. I immediately set up a book club. I immediately asked someone to coffee because so it is wonderful to hear that words that you wrote are changing somebody. I have a hard time with like compliments or like even niceties said to me. So I'm like, don't stop saying nice stuff to me and about me. Like I don't know.
She does better if you make fun of her. Is there something typing in the background?
No,
not real noisy over there.
I know. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not. It doesn't want to be hold. It didn't want to be sitting on my computer.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
No,
Amy is incredible. She is incredible.
I'm okay, but I am not like a public eye kind of person. Like there are people who I think are okay with that and not weird about it and actually like it, and I have a hard time with it. Like I always say, if I could do this anonymously, I would do this. I would.
Amy is honestly the best. I love that. I've actually learned that Amy.
That makes me feel very comfortable. Amy, thank you. That's the truth.
I tell the story of how I got you the other night when you're like, the only thing I'm good at is. Can
marketing.
I tell that story?
Yeah, please tell that story.
She goes, the only thing I'm good at is marketing, Jess. It's the only part of this I'm good at. And I was like, Amy, that's not true. You're bad at marketing. And she just died, which is not true, P.S. But I got her so good. She's amazing at marketing, but she's amazing at everything. And there's really no convincing her of that.
No, there's not. I do not. I am a 9 on the Enneagram, so I am like, I would be cool if I was able to do this anonymously and like nobody knew and I could just watch from the background. you know, I'd be cool with that. I struggle with it.
Okay. Christy says, I don't have a question, but I want to say thank you so much for penning the words of your hearts and being so vulnerable. I didn't even know how bad I needed this book until I read it. Goodness, you spoke to my heart and inspired me. Oh, thank you so much.
That's so nice.
Crystal says, thank you so much for this book. It's a total game changer. I saw there may be a workbook accompany this book. Can we get any information on that? I would love to host a book club with both book and workbook. Blah, 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 blah. I can't read. Workbook.
Here's what we
Thanks
can tell you about
again.
the workbook. Yeah, the workbook's really awesome.
It's really
like
awesome.
The workbook's really cool. It's really good. It's so well done. We had help on the workbook. We didn't, the book, 100% all our words, but we have like no idea how to write a workbook or to.
The team that helped us design it is absolutely incredible.
Like
it's
so
still our
good.
words, but
yeah, it's still our words.
It's going to be
ideas.
So good.
And our ideas, they just help us like organize it in the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. But that is coming out March. Do you know what the date? So it doesn't release till March. But Amy and I both were saying, like, we wish we could get it to you sooner, but we were saying too, it gives you time to like read and process the book and then maybe go back through it with the workbook to like dig deeper. But I think it's going to be so good.
And it's turquoise.
And
it looks really good with the book.
It's really great. It's definitely really good.
We do, like, the workbook is awesome. We're really excited to be able to offer that. But it was like one where we wanted people to like read the book and love the book and then grab their friends and be like, okay, we've got to do this together. Because here's the thing. If you read this book with people and you find people who are wanting this book, then you automatically know this is someone who cares about friendship. This is someone who wants friendship. This is someone who wants to deepen.
wants something different.
Yeah, if you can do this book with friends, it 100% is going to deepen your friendship because it is going to spark some really good conversations between you. And I feel like it will be a bonding thing. And that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted.
Yeah. Okay. Amanda says, I'm 41 and have discovered it's hard to have real friendships. They're either too much drama, lack of communication, or who knows what else is going on. Why is it so hard? First thing I want you to know, Amanda, is it is so hard. And we see you, and hundreds of thousands of women are in your exact shoes. I would say, I think it's hard because we don't know how to find each other. I don't think that there is actually a problem that there's not women out there to be friends who aren't like-hearted with you. It's the finding each other that's gotten complicated because a lot of us are either stuck at home or we're isolated or we are not seeing other people on a day-to-day basis at school or jobs or whatever.
We're just busy.
But I would just encourage you that what I found that I had to do is I had to go out and find people. And if I wasn't finding the right people, just keep looking because I was really waiting for someone to knock down my door and be like, you. I choose you, which is kind of what Amy did, ironically. But that happened much later.
I kind of did. But I didn't come to your door because I feel like
that's not,
I mean, you should not let them in.
No, don't let those people in.
Call the police.
I realized it's so crazy to me now what an epiphany it was. But I was like, I can give away friendship. I can go pursue people because I felt very disempowered. Like I felt like if people weren't pursuing me at church or asking me out to coffee at my job or whatever, that must mean they didn't really like me. And so it was like a huge switch in my mind to be like, that girl seems cool. I'm going to go invite her to do something. It was terrifying, P.S. Absolutely terrifying, but I had to do it. And I found friendship that way. And I really wasn't finding it outside of that.
Sometimes I think friendship is hard just because we're people. Like we're people, and people gonna people. You know, people are gonna be difficult.
People gonna people.
people are going to be difficult. People are going to disagree. People are going to speak different love languages than we speak, and we're not always going to hear each other, and we're not always going to understand each other, and we're not always going to like each other. But we are taught from childhood that, what was I saying?
We are taught from childhood something important that was wrong.
What did I start off saying though? We're people. Oh, okay. We learn from childhood that if we're doing it right, we're not going to be unliked. And we learn from childhood that if we do it right, it's not going to be complicated. And we learn from childhood that if we're doing it right, there will not be disagreements, and you won't have to have hard conversations.
Which is
false.
It's the worst lie ever.
There's
no relationship in your life ever that if it's close is not going to be complicated. There's not going to be conflict. There's not going to be awkwardness. That's not a possibility ever.
Yeah. But we're
that expectation.
And I think some of it too is unrealistic expectations. And so the second anything happens, the second there's anything that we don't like, we have a tendency to bounce and be like Ariana Grande it and be like, thank you, next. No, you cannot have lasting. And sometimes you do need to Ariana Grande it. Sometimes you need to bounce. What?
P.S. Amy has the best one-liners in the whole world. Am I not correct on this?
I like a one-liner. I do like
I am correct, and I will not be. Okay, this is a good one, Amy. Okay. Olivia says, "What's your ideal Friday night with your girlfriends?"
So boring. I'm so boring. I know this today. I know.
Let me see if I can guess it right.
Yeah, guess.
It's on your couch, in your sweatpants.
It could also be their couch.
Or their couch.
And just literally hanging out. Literally, like we order pizza, and we get Grubhub, and we don't leave, and we don't get dressed up, and we just hang out. That's it. That's all I want.
I think mine is, I do love a girls' night in. I also like to get out of my house. I'm a stay-at-home. I'm a mom. I'm here a lot. I can see my dishes, and they annoy me. So I'm like, let's get out of here.
Let's go.
And I get a special kind of happy when I'm just like, I love going to like a restaurant with my friends, and I also love being cooked for. I love it when I love going to restaurants and them making me food and delivering it. Here is your queso.
That's what Mom just said, eating queso.
It's gonna change your life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come to me. I love that. That's probably my favorite. But I do love staying at home.
I do like going out, but I'm casual and I'm simple and I'm not fancy.
I will say,
there's no party
fancy,
that wants to be
no. Every once in a while, but normally, no.
I think I spent so much of my life feeling like I had to be, and feeling like I was telling Jess, not everybody knows about, like I used to, like before I started blogging, I didn't own a pair of flats. I didn't own a pair of sweatpants. It was jeans, heels, full makeup to go to the grocery store. And then I finally got exhausted because I was trying so hard to just be enough, I guess, and be liked. And I really thought if I could just be prettier, maybe I'd fit in, or if I could just, wear the right clothes, maybe. And then I got to this point in my life, and I kind of talk in the book where I was like, I realized I'm exhausted and none of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters. I don't care if I live and die, and at my funeral, I don't care if people say, oh, she was really pretty. No, please don't say that at my funeral. Please have something better to say than that.
Totally.
And so I started living totally different.
Totally. Okay.
I do like makeup though. That part I will admit. I do like makeup.
Girl does good makeup too.
I think it's fun. But I don't wear it very often anymore. I do like it.
What was the book writing process like for you both, individually or together?
I would go away because I got all these kids up in here, and they're loud.
Business.
And I would if I was at home writing, I would start doing laundry, or I'd get distracted. I'd be like, well, can just watch Netflix. So I wrote some at home, but I did struggle writing at home. So I would
Me
have
too.
I would rent like I'd find a hotel that we could afford for the weekend, and that, you know, like financially made sense. And I would go to a hotel for the weekend. Normally I just stayed in town, but I would go to the hotel for a couple days so I could write. So I did that a few times.
I lived in a coffee shop. Lived
Just
there.
coffee
I
shop,
like
yeah.
to be where the people are.
Yeah.
But not my children. Love my children, but they're asking me for stuff. But I like to be around people. I feel really sad when I'm alone. I'm a very extroverted person, and I find myself exhausting to be around after
With your own
about an
thoughts?
hour. Yeah, with my own
My
thoughts.
own thoughts make me so tired. No.
I think also, honestly, it's the energy of like being around people helps me focus for some reason. So I did a lot of that. But Amy and I are both like, when we're on, we're like writing machines, like just like pumping out the pages. But I mean, they always talk about writing block, but then when it's switched off, it's like painstaking, like so hard.
It's nothing. So it was stuff like if I got an idea, it didn't matter where I was writing it, because we don't have a team of people. We don't have help. We don't have assistants. We don't have like, I don't have a regular babysitter. I don't even have a babysitter that we use on the regular. I don't have anybody to clean my house. So like it would have to be wherever an idea popped into my head. It didn't matter if I was in the middle of a crowd or the middle of the grocery store. I'm pulling out my phone and writing it and getting the ball going right there.
Yeah,
because I didn't have enough extra time not to do it. So we would write, and then you edit the book. And I thought editing the book was grueling. I hated it. Like I hated it so much. I hated it so much. But you go through like 9 rounds of edits. It's a lot.
It is
Jess
a lot.
loved edits, and that's
I don't know why.
That's because they loved your stuff. It made me feel bad about myself. But you're like,
they loved your stuff. I think what it is I had a much harder time just sitting down and pulling thoughts from the air. Like I liked that with the editing process was very straightforward because the ideas were already there. Yeah. And so they would be like, elaborate on this. And so I didn't have to spend like half my time at the coffee shop being like, I wonder if Anthropology is having a sale right now. Oh, I'm writing. I wonder if my friend wants to hang out. Like, I don't think this is working. I should go on a run. Like, I'm just like all over the place. It's so hard for me to just like focus. And then if I don't have an idea. So the editing process, it was very clear. It was like, do this about this. And I was like, I can do that.
And I thought I had myself really prepared for the editing process. I was like, Amy, it's going to be a lot of red. It doesn't mean you're a bad writer. This is what you want. You want them to make it better. Do not be hard on yourself. Do not be critical. Do not take it that way. And I literally got it. And I was like, they think I'm a horrible writer.
P.S. They did not.
And they're like, what am I doing? I should not have written this book. And so I like, that wasn't good, but I was just, I saw red and I panicked and took it all to heart. So editing was hard for me. Yeah. But I did it.
You know what was really amazing about co-authoring, though, is that we had meltdowns at different times.
Yeah, we never panicked about the same thing at the same time.
No, and that was like,
really
people
nice.
have been like, was it so hard to write a book together? I'm like, it was the best thing ever. Because we were like, we could melt down and be like, I figured out I can't do it. And their support the other person, or even take like, because we're running the page too the whole time, running for the page and both of our pages all the time. So also shifting that weight back and forth and being like, okay, you're having a hard time. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the week. You just chill, let yourself rest, and then you can write more book. So anyways, that was extremely,
it was really nice. And I do genuinely believe with my whole heart, like when I say that, like I felt a pull to Jess, I think we were meant to be together, to work together. And I think that this kind of collaboration, I never want people to think that like this is natural and this is the way it's always gonna be or should be. No, this is rare.
I think
Yeah.
for two people to work together this well together and for it
That's
to be what could be a very hard, complicated process for it to have been as
yes.
seamless and
It
smoothless
definitely
as it was. Like there were there we vibe, we work, and there's my best friends, some of my, I mean, not that Jess is clearly one of my best friends, but I can't think of another friend that I could have done this with.
yeah,
Like
totally.
there was a pull towards Jess to work together because we were supposed to work together, and I
Yeah.
believe that with my whole heart.
That's absolutely true. What prompted you guys to write this book now? We
Women
just knew. We knew in our
Yeah, we knew.
guts. Like we needed to. We had a lot of conversations. Honestly, Amy was already publishers were already after Amy. So we're like, do we write our own books first? Like, do we write about friendship? And man, just everything. It just felt like it was so.
Well, I don't know
It
if
was
you
so
know this. One of
important.
the publishers wanted me to write about friendship, and I straight
Oh, I
up
didn't
said,
know
"I
that.
will." You didn't know. I didn't want to tell you this. I'll tell you it now. One of the publishers wanted me to write about friendship, and I straight up
Dang.
said, "I will not do them without Jess." And I told them, I mean, I'll tell you verbatim what I said. They said, "Well, okay, two authors can be kind of complicated." And I said, "I understand that." And they said, "It just doesn't always work." And I said, "Again, I understand that. But what I'm saying to you is," I mean, I think I was 36 at the time. So I told them, I don't know why I was so bold, but I just felt passionate about it. I was like, "No, I'm going to write a test." And I said, I have slept for 36 years. I have slept well without having a book deal. I'll sleep well for another 36
You're amazing.
years if this book deal doesn't happen. But I said, if I'm crappy to someone that I love, I don't know that I'll ever be able to sleep again. And I love Jess, and she needs to be on this book. So we'll figure that out. We're going to figure it
Yeah.
out. But either we do it with her or I don't do it.
That's
I
amazing.
figure out another topic.
You're amazing. Honestly, that's why this works too, right? Because you have to be good to each other when no one's watching, or this would never work.
Yep.
Never work.
Yep.
That's amazing. I did not know that. You
No.
are so cool.
Well, this is true. I mean, that was verbatim what I told, and I remember saying at the time and going, like in my head, I was going, "Oh, that is bold. That is bold. That is bold."
And she's an Enneagram 9, you guys. I have to clean off my thing really quick.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't like conflict. Oh, that made it worse.
That's very
She
sad.
still chose to do that. And that just goes to show you Amy is exactly who she seems to be. And everybody on the internet is not, You're like, we know, obviously. But she's exactly who she seems to be.
But I think that's why I was drawn to you too, because you are. And I could tell that you were. And I like that.
I do remember being like, Amy, why me? Because you're like exploding on the internet. I'm like, why do you want to work with me? And you're like, I just do. I do. I think it was God, honestly.
I do too. I mean, I'm like, there are certain times in my life, certain things that I was very, 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 without a doubt, certain of. I'm not going to go into all of them, but like when Sister I'm With You, I knew we're supposed to start Sister I'm With You. I knew it. It was just such a fast thing. And then our book is currently number 3 on Amazon. Is that true?
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
I don't know. I'm using my phone right now. I can't. But yeah. Like number 3 of all the books, or number 3 in like new
look and see. It might be in a certain category.
It might be in a certain category.
Okay. We'll check into that. What's the balance between confiding in your husband versus your female relationships? Did you hear me, or was that weird?
Yes. No. Okay. So what?
What's the balance between confiding in your husband versus your female friendships? I will just say I still need my girlfriends.
My thing is like, okay, so my husband, I'm confiding in him in literally everything. Like if there's anything you don't want me to tell him for whatever reason, you will have to very
very specifically
Yes,
say,
I will agree with that 100%.
do not tell your husband, because otherwise I'm telling him.
I'm actually
I'm him.
I'm actually like, don't tell me if you don't want, because I don't think I can like, if this is gonna be heavy, like it won't go past us, but if this is gonna be real heavy, like don't tell me if I can't number
Oh,
3
number
and
3 in new
okay,
releases.
and that is
Okay,
amazing.
that makes sense. That is amazing. That's what it's been, which is still amazing. I mean, I literally did a dance earlier.
Yeah.
But
thank you for checking that.
thank you so much. Yeah, so I confide, but you know what I say? I confide in my husband about everything. And I do. There's nothing that I wouldn't tell him. There's nothing that I wouldn't share with him. There's a lot of stuff that he doesn't care.
Exactly. Mic drop.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, and then, and it just hurt my feelings. And he's like, I don't think you should feel that way. And I'm like, well, that's the way I feel. That is the way I feel. You know, and he's just like, I don't know what you want me to do here. And I'm like, fine, it's fine. Amber will know. Amber will know.
Yeah.
She will know what to say. She will get it. You know, and then you tell your girlfriend, they're like, yes, hang on, tell me more. Tell me
still
more.
7 in
I'm
the top
mad.
100 overall, which is incredible.
Yeah. Number 7.
Incredible.
Not sad about that.
We cannot believe it. Anyway, sorry.
No. But there are just certain things that, like, I would confide in my husband with literally anything. But there are certain things that he's equipped to deal with and that he understands and cares about and can offer good guidance on. And certain things that girlfriends just get. Girlfriends just get stuff. My husband is my favorite person on this planet. Like, if you know me, you will quickly know that I am obsessed with him. He is my favorite person on this planet. But he is not. I don't want to say he's not enough, because he is. He's carried me through those times where I had no friends. But there is, like, that Jerry Maguire, like, you complete me, is bull. That's a lot to put on a person. That's a lot to put on a person. That you are my everything, and you're going to be able to help me solve every problem and walk with me through every single detail of life. It's a lot to put on a person. And so I think that's why, like, it's really nice to have a balance. Like, he loves when I go out with my girlfriends, because I come back and I'm happier and lighter, and some of these problems have they've helped me deal with them in a way that he literally just sat there and like, I don't know what to say.
my husband has literally called my girlfriends and been like, help, please take this woman away from me. She is falling apart at the seams. Is there a way we could plan a girls' night tonight? Literally. Because sometimes, and so I'm telling him everything, but he's like, I do not know how to touch these emotions, because I'm going to break them.
Right.
I'm going to do something to you that makes this worse, and I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, because there are certain times where my husband, like, thinks I want to be calmed down, and I'm like, I don't want to be calmed down. I want you to calm up.
I want you to vent with me. I know. I'm always like I'd be like, I'm just feeling weird. Like, I'm having just like a really hard day, and I don't know why. And he's like, okay, like, love you. Like, he just says it. And my girlfriends are like, I know, I've been having a weird day too. It's just been so weird, and I don't know why. And like, and we can just like rant about it, and they're like, I feel better. Better.
Yeah, there's just something where, I mean, I don't think that any one person, like, I don't believe in, I know that having one really, really good friend can change your life, and I'm not discounting that at all. But again, if you expect one person to literally, like, be your everything, it's a lot to put on a person.
Yeah.
That's a lot to put on a person, you know? And I think
true.
it's okay to have different people that you go to for different things. Like, I have friends who are amazing in encouragement. Amazing. And they're the ones, if I feel bad about myself, I'm going to go to them because I need that lift. Mm-hmm. And then I have friends who give amazing advice. And I have friends who are just, they don't give good advice at all, and they don't care, but they're fun. And if I need a fun time. So I think that it's okay for different people to do different things. And so I even think for your husband to be like, he's my everything, he's my only friend. And I'm like, that's a lot to put on a person.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, we are already at our hour. Is there
Oh, we
anything?
are? I'm so
We
sorry. I
are.
probably talk too much. I'm sorry. Just
You have
now.
not. What? We love you. You don't talk too much. Um,
Are there any more questions?
there are. Should we do one more?
Oh, there are? Well, no, let's rapid fire. Rapid fire. Rapid fire. I wanna
Okay, let's
answer
rapid
everybody's
fire.
question.
Okay. As wives, moms, authors, business owners, how do you stay afloat?
Barely.
What are tools to stay grounded and healthy so we can be the best versions of ourselves for family and friends? I will say, make the time for the things that are important, even if it's a tiny amount of time. Amy has carved out Tuesday coffee with her friends.
No matter what.
No matter what's
Literally,
going
no matter
on,
what.
she's doing that. Like things like that that are just like, take that tiny bit of time and then be consistent with it. It's super important.
And protect it. Like I'm like, you
Yeah,
protect
protect it.
things that you love. So with certain things that this makes me happy, this is literally life-giving to me, I will protect it at all cost.
Yeah. How do you both first start out blogging and writing? Do you ever think you would gain such a following and influence so many? Absolutely.
Oh, hell no. I
Not
didn't
at
think I was like, what? More than 100 people want to read this? Why? Why would anybody want to read this? I don't even like, I barely have my life together.
I know.
I don't know why
Yeah.
anybody would want to read my stuff. So no, I never, ever in a billion years would have imagined this ever. And I sort of got started on accident. Jess was intentional. Jess knew she was. I wrote something on accident that went viral and then was like, oh, okay. We in it now.
Some of these I feel like we have answered, just not with the question, but we've talked about it.
Okay.
What's the main thing you want your readers to take away from your book?
I want them to feel empowered. I want them to read this book and know I don't have to wait around for an invitation. I don't have to wait around for someone to invite me. I don't have to wait around for someone to throw the party. I don't have to wait around for a spot to open at that table. I am good enough and I have what it takes to go out and build those things on my own. I can give this away. I can be a good friend. I can give the invitation. I can throw the party, even if the party kind of sucks and it's just pizza in a messy house. I can do that. I can build my own table and invite people to it. I can give this away. I don't have to sit around and wait for it anymore. I can go out. I can live my life. I can do this. So that's why I want them to feel very empowered and encouraged.
Yes, same. I want them to feel known and seen and like, I'm okay, actually. I thought I was the only one, but I'm actually okay. Yeah. And I want you to feel like you just got like a giant hug. I want you to feel like you sat on my couch with me next to my laundry pile and Amy, and you just like, we just gave you a good like talking to. Like, girl, you're amazing. And you've got everything in your toolkit that you need. There is nothing wrong with you. Nothing. And
Maybe
someone out there is waiting
but
to be your best friend. Like, you are incredible. I hope that's what it feels like.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, last question. This one might be hard to answer, though. What's next for you both?
Let's see.
Pretty excited. This has been a really fun adventure. It feels like getting on one of the coolest roller coasters with one of my closest friends and being like, let's go.
I feel like I would like a weekend or a week where I have nothing to do. That is what is next for me. At some point, I want a week of nothing. Like nothing. Like
totally.
I'm gonna leave my house. Maybe my kids are gonna go to school. Maybe my kids aren't gonna go to school. I don't know. But I want a weekend of nothing.
Yeah.
I'm tired. But in a good way.
But in a good way.
I
know we got more stuff up our sleeve for you, though, for sure. Sorry, Amy.
We have plans and we hope. I mean, the truth is, the better this book does, the more the bigger and better possibilities will open for us to start hiring people to like read our emails and just to start be able to hire people to help us with certain stuff. So we can build more and do more and kind of figure out new directions that we would like to go in.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's also really important to us. I'm not giving up. Work is not going to be my life. And I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to be my life.
And so my friendships, they're not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop putting into them. I like picking up my kids from school. That's just, I know everybody doesn't have to do that. Yeah, I had a mom who worked, but it's important to me. So my whole life's not going to be work. I will say that.
Yeah, same.
I'm not going to hustle it all away.
That's one of the reasons I'm so thankful that we're doing it together, though, too. Because it definitely, neither of us want to lose what the close relationships in our life, our families, our kids are.
Because I feel like it would be really
friends.
crappy, honestly, if we wrote the book on friendship and we preached about friendship, but we let our own personal friendships go to the wayside.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have enough time for them anymore. And so I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. I care way more about people than I do about success. Just kind of like, it's nice. I'm so grateful that I don't want it to ever sound like I'm not grateful. I'm so grateful. I really love my people, and I'm not giving them up for anything. So I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next. I don't have any plan. I don't want to build a whole empire or anything like that. I never did. Yeah. I never do.
Yeah. Okay. One more really quick, because I think we have time.
I know.
What, do we have any advice for a writer, blogger starting out?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
And
start.
I think,
and carve your own path. Do your own thing. Take a risk. Don't come here, baby girl. It's gonna be very, very tempting to just see something that's popular and see something that gets a lot of attention. Be like, oh, I'll do that too. Don't do that. Do your own thing. Do what is on your heart.
Do what's in your heart. I remember I started, my friend was like, you need to write a mommy blog. And I was like, no, that sounds lame. I'm not doing that. She's like, but that's what you're doing. Like, that is your life. That's what you're in. And so I did. And that's where everything began.
And I was like the opposite. I started a mommy blog because I felt like that's what everybody was doing. And that's how you got a lot of likes and shares, were from talking about motherhood stuff. So I really started out talking about motherhood stuff. And I was genuinely like,
it's not your jam.
This is not my jam. I got to do something different because I love my kids, but I don't feel like a parenting expert. And I know I feel qualified to give advice on it, or even like, I don't know. I just wasn't sustainable to me. It wasn't. So I kind of was like, okay, well, let's do our own thing and let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
So do what's in your heart and don't be swayed to do what's popular. Do what's in your heart.
And don't compare.
And don't compare it. And that's hard.
It's very hard.
That was hard. But just do it. Just do it and just go and just see what happens and try to do it with no expectations. Which again,
try
is
to
really
get on
hard,
that. Try to get on that roller coaster and just like, I'm gonna see what happens. And not worry about it too much.
Yeah.
But you guys, this has been so fun.
This really has been fun.
We are truly overwhelmed and honored by the love you guys have shown us, the support. It does make us emotional.
Yes.
We could not have done it without you. Absolutely couldn't.
Nope.
And we so truly believe in this. Like, we just with our whole hearts believe in this message, because we do think we're creating a better world for our daughters, our just sisterhood, friendship. It matters a whole lot. And it's not just about us. It's about all of us.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It was really fun.
We're really grateful. And let's
Very
get
grateful.
Let's get this book to number 3.
Yeah.
Or let's don't. That's fine too. Whatever. It's whatever.
All right, guys. Have such a good night.
Thank y'all. Yes, have the best night ever.
Hey, this is John Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching today.